Sorry about that. We'll start over. You have predators. You have sheep pretending to be predators so that they can move in certain ways in the community, okay? So that they can survive through appearance, through perception. But they are anything but what they are pretending to be, meaning they are fake and they are phony. And I want to bring attention, like I said, again, to the assassination attempt. And I want to give my feelings, my thoughts about that, my opinions. Okay? And I just want to say, for you, when you have a segment, a fragmented group of society who considers itself to be the majority, okay? And this fragmented, thinking their majority group is running for their team, and they have a champion, a representative that is representing their side, their way, their view, their worldview, their wants and their desires, their ways, and the way they want things to appear. Okay? And that being is Donald Trump. Okay? This being has led insurrections. He has caused mobs to form. He has caused public opinions to explode violently. He's brought contention into family situations. He has broken up friendships. It's very, very intense. The energy, the spectrum, the frequencies that this man magnifies, that surrounds him, that he radiates. Okay? And pay attention to those who are attracted to that kind of radiation, that kind of frequency and spectrum, that kind of light. And you'll see that they are prone to violence as predators. Okay? They are very predatory in their need to overcome, in their need to dominate, in their need to bring everyone else into submission. Okay? And they don't care how they do that. They can lie, steal, cheat in order to do that. That's part of their bag of tricks that they use. And they think that they're right. And in their quest for being right, they overrule common sense. They overrule another being's basic autonomy of forming its own thoughts and opinions about a situation and circumstance. Getting back to the assassination attempt, I really believe that it was a staged, a made up a scripted, a well thought out plan of intercession in order to bring sympathy, empathy to Donald Trump's humanity, to show this predator as a sheep. Now, I want you to ask yourself, knowing everything you know about this being, why would he need to be presented to the public as a sheep? What is going on? What has happened so recently that this strutting wolf, this strutting predator, this strutting lion, this strutting dragon, this strutting cock, this strutting fighting rooster wants to be seen, wants to appear as a victim? He that hates victims, he that hates losers, he that hates people that serve because they're suckers and losers, now wants to appear as a victim, as someone who has been victimized and targeted, his very life threatened. And yet, this is the same individual that called out names of innocent women, saying that they cheated in the election, stole votes, and this and this and that and the other, and had the mob go after these women so that these women had to leave their homes afraid for their lives. This same strutting peacock wants to be seen and known as a strong man. And he wants his followers to see him in this manner only. But now things have changed, flipped, turned. All the focus is seeing him as an indicted criminal, as a liar, as a cheater, as a raper of women, as a degrader of the feminine principle and principality, of someone who is trying to take us back to misogyny, where women are things, they are possessions, and they have no rights or say-so over their own bodies, what's done to them and who does it to them. This man. And this man, because he felt the tide, and his followers and his staff and everybody, they felt the tide turning when it came to his public appearance, his public narrative as Teflon Don. They got together and they said, well, what can we do to get the sympathy, get, get the people feeling sorry for him. We need the people to be sympathetic and empathetic. And we need them to bend when it comes to him. Bend over when it comes to him. And so they came up with the scheme of the assassination. And this man hit the deck, only to rise with a fist in the air and so concerned about his appearance and what things looked like after being shot at that he wanted to put on his shoes. He could not move. The Secret Service, the service people there had to wait and accommodate him until he put on his shoes, because he had to be comfortable, because his needs, his appearance mattered more to him than getting to safety, more to him than the safety of those that were serving him. And yet, America is supposed to believe that this friend of Epstein, this liar, this cheater, this felon who's running for the highest office in the legal world, okay, is a great shepherd and not a predator. His following blows my mind, but I understand the pathology of predators, and I understand the archetype of what can I say? The Bluebeard that Donald Trump is. I recognize from reading Women Who Run with Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola, the disconnect from the Savior Shepherd that becomes, or that is allowed to become, the predator monster is a spectrum and frequency that we as a community really need to tap back into. And we really need to become decisive, hot or cold, not lukewarm, not sitting on the fence just waiting to see what happens, what sheep gets taken off of, or what happens when this predatory force comes in, and this, that, and what's left standing, and who's holding what. And no. Integration into action, initiative. integrity is desperately needed, at this time. And I want you to understand the influences, okay? What is influencing the Great Shepherd archetype? What is influencing the predator, the great predator archetype at this time? Are they easily discernible? Can you see them? Not just with the naked eye based on appearance, but can you see and feel them instinctively, intuitively, spiritually, metaphysically? Or have you turned that portion or part of yourself completely off, and you no longer rely upon it, you no longer trust it, you no longer value it, you no longer see the virtue of even having it, because the world calls it crazy, because the world wants you to be a carbon copy of it and its influences and its grooming and its conditioning. It doesn't want you to think, doesn't want you to discern through wisdom, spiritual wisdom. Wants you to do all of that through personality that is customized, crafted, manifested, and given to you by a matrix system that is dying. That is no longer self-sustainable, and that is recognized as being unstable. The food we eat, the healthcare, the relationships, the relating. It's all been compromised. And it's compromised because there are no great shepherds shepherding it. They have been hushed. They have been killed. They have been harassed. They have been shamed. They have been put in mental institutions. They're hiding, they're hermits. They have given up on humanity. They have nothing else left. They're tired of fighting. They're tired of speaking and watching nothing change for the better, for the community, for the collective, the spiritual collective. They see the halt that has been placed upon spiritual conscious awareness, observable through 1926, 1921, through 2024, so to speak. And they're seeing now people are beginning to wake up and recognize that they not only want, but they need more. They need better care. They need better service. They need better archetypes. They need better guidance and leadership. And they're looking at what has been and understanding that that was based on popularity and appearance and money. Those who could buy their way into power. And that power corrupts. And that when you do not have separate shepherds to shepherd and oversee the community and the shepherds themselves, things fall into chaos. And the predators began to outnumber the sheep. And the sheep no longer want to be sheep. They want to be predators. Because they want to survive. And so the whole dynamic of spiritual spectrum, energy, frequencies, auras, energy, manifestations, it's all flipped, it's all changed, it's all corrupted, it's been infected. And so what is born from it is defected. And people are too busy blaming each other. And nobody is looking at it practically and saying, this needs to be done. Can you see that? Do you understand that? If this is not done, do you understand the consequences to humanity, to the earth herself, to the environment, to the elementals, to the water, to the air? Are you aware? Are you conscious? Of the facts? Or are you so caught up in the story and the storytelling that you can't see the forest for the trees? Like I say, when a being switches up from wanting to be seen as the biggest predator to wanting to be the victim, there has been a shift in the concept of it. It recognizes it can no longer go on as predator, as T-Rex, as a monster, as the big bad wolf that it was so proud of being. So now it has to turn into Goldilocks or a Little Red Riding Hood or Grandma in order to get sympathy, in order to get empathy, in order for forgiveness and forgetfulness of its ways, past ways, being the wolf, what it did as a wolf. I'm a sheep now. I'm just like you. And it's amazing the silence. It's amazing that no one is holding this being accountable. It's amazing to understand the fulfillment of prophecies and to be living in this time and understanding and understanding every little thing you see and how it's all connected, how it's all nuanced. And how it all goes back to the story of the great shepherd, the great teacher, the crook and the flail. The duality of innocence and evil. And how evil will take on the appearance of innocence in order to get its way, to escape consequences, to distract, to deceive. And how many beings are actually, factually fooled, blind to the truth, because they are so hooked by the appearance, by the thoughts of others, by the intention of influence. They're so used to being groomed and conditioned and being made submissive and not thinking for themselves, being told what to think and how to think and what to see. That what they see, they tell themselves, I need more information. I can't believe that. I don't know what I'm talking about. I need more information. Well, what do you think? Oh, you think that? Well, I can see that. Yeah, that may be so. That's fence sitting. That's neither being hot nor cold. That's yes nor no. That's not being a being of your word, of your decision, of your, you have to be able to make a decision. And you have to be able to stand upon that decision. And even if it is the wrong decision, you have to say, in the moment, I felt that it was the right decision, but now I see it was the wrong decision. Or that wrong decision led me to the right decision. This is expanding spiritual conscious awareness. It is not being put in a place and told how to be, how to think, what to think, how far you can go, how limited, how impossible. We are cosmic beings, afraid to be. We have been so programmed to do and to be judged on what is done and what is not done that we don't understand the value of being. That being is more important than doing. Because there are many corporations. There are many beings. There are many people that do things that seem nice and kind, only to cover up for the dirt that they do, the violence that they do, the death dealing that they do. Oh, we'll donate to this charity here because, we did destroy the ecosystem and this, that, and the other. So, we'll give to the children's blah 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 blah, or to the hunger blah 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 blah, or to the poor dee 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 da. We're doing. Don't you see what we did? We did this. We did. No. Who are you? What did you do that you don't want people to know? Who are you? Who are you? What spirit is around you? What spirit leads you? What spirit guides you? Is it the Holy Spirit or is it an unholy spirit? Because that's who you're going to be. You're either going to be holy or you're going to be unholy. And who you are is going to determine what you do and why you do it. And why you do things is very important. Why was the assassination attempt carried out? Why is the whole MAGA crowd not incensed and formulating their bloodbaths because their leader was shot or violated or victimized? But he loses a campaign and all hell breaks loose. He says vengeance is mine, and yet he's touched. And it's just, I'm a changed man now. I'm a victim now. I know what it is to be victimized.